Hi guys, welcome back to 7 Days to Die. What we're doing today is just something a little bit different than last time. Last time I gave you the Horde Night, day 7, and this is going to be days 8 to 13 inclusive, what I'm calling a Prepisode. So it's basically, 7 days worth of grinding and preparing for the next Horde Night compressed into one, 45-minute segment. So there's going to be a lot of cutting and so on. I'm still trying to figure out what the best way to show you 7 Days to Die content is, because there's a lot of grinding and a lot of stuff you don't really want to see, but here's my attempt. It's experimental, so open to feedback. But I'm going to try to show you all the things I did over that week just to get ready for the Horde Night. So first thing we did was, after that pretty light Horde Night on day 7, although they did get into our base still, so there's definitely some prep I have to do for the next night, which will be bigger. But we went into town looking for food, guys. So food and supplies to start to loot in earnest. The first couple of days of the week are just straight looting, and then the later half of the week, I basically did prep for the Horde. So, yeah. Yeah. So I've cut out, there he goes. I've cut out most of the zombie kills. Like, there's some zombie kills that I've included, especially places where I got into a bad spot, just out of interest. But basically, I've tried to capture all the places I went, all the looting, the major looting I did. And yeah, I definitely won't take you through a lot of car breakdown, but shortly it's going to just zoom in on just the really good loot spots, like this safe. So there we had some grenades and a rifle. Basically the grenades are the thing I want there, but yeah, so throughout I took all the cement I could find, all the cobblestone I could find naturally. So yeah, this little residential location here was my first loot. And one thing I do when I loot is I pretty much take everything. Okay, so yeah, dropping through the floor caused the zombies to wake up. At least one of them. Very suspicious closet indeed. Those ones are fast. She definitely closed that distance quick. So yeah, right now I'm using the club. Later in the episode, I'll switch over to the spear. Basically, was watching some players online play with the spear, and I thought, gee, that seems like a better weapon. So I did switch to it eventually. Spear level 4 I found right there. That's Iron Spear 4. That's what the weapon I'll end up using for most of the game. In this beginning part, though, I did not know how to use the spear, so I missed a fair bit. Bit of a learning curve to it. So yeah, these houses, I mean, these POIs are chock full of loot. Like, everything's loot, you can break down every block, but oh, ambush there, but sneaky one. But yeah, the spear's got the throw, which is amazing because it has a huge knockdown probability, and it's all about knockdown. Yeah, so that was awesome. A pretty good sized horde just charged at me with some runners, and they hit mines like crazy up there. So help me clear out some of those mines. And just left a couple. And one mine. Yeah, a crawler here that couldn't get through the roof, so he took it in the groin. There we go. And yeah, I'm so unfamiliar with this game. Like, I know there's a lot of secrets. Okay, that's a pretty good load of stuff. Nothing too remarkable. I found a lot of level 1 tools that I ended up breaking down most of them. With the assumption that later I'll have better tool skill. So we left that POI basically. There might have been more stuff, but stopped by for some iron. And then went to check out the ship, guys, which was, right near our base. really interesting location. I already cleared out that the little house by the hut on the shore there beforehand. So yeah, we climbed up and yeah, in earnest, investigate this ship. Oh, oh, look at this, guys. There it goes. So yeah, I basically caught a glimpse of what was around the corner here, but then I look at it and it's all vultures, guys. So that's a horror show. But luckily, there's this little place to hide out here. And I ended up just switching to 7.62 for this. I wish I had the pistol; it would have been perfect. But got a lot of pistol rounds. So yeah, we just proceeded to kind of work our way through this group. A massive amount of experience. The other thing is that these birds are they have feathers. Oh. And they have, woke something up that stepped on a mine. So obviously this place is trapped. I think this building is a user-made POI. I don't know if it's like stock. I think not somehow. Partly because later on I find some kind of bugs and inconsistencies inside it, so. It's rock solid. It's made out of concrete, I guess, reinforced concrete. And or stainless steel, so it's like, you know, I'm finding 10,000 hit point blocks here, which would take me a day to get through, so better part of a day. So I was a little perplexed about how to get into this thing. I did find one munitions crate outside with some basic stuff in it. More birds. And I don't quite know why birds don't scatter. Like, those birds you think would have scattered, but they didn't. A little bit of cobblestone here and there. Some nice looking containers here. A little bit of cement to mop up. But at some point within these containers, I woke up a whole crew of zombies. Old ladies that came out and, you know, huge guys. I don't know the names of these zombies yet, but basically an obese party came out. Sounds pretty rough. And these guys I kited around a little bit. And they're pretty much like bullet sponges. Pretty satisfying headshots in this game. Boom. So that's some solid experience. I mean, the zombie kills are great. So yeah, hardened containers here with a bunch of stuff in it. None of it too remarkable. You know, all some level 1 kit. But still, good to have. A lot of breakdown I did. And what I was considering was building a bridge from the ship over to that shore house, but I couldn't seem to make it happen with these blocks. Here I tried to do it off this way over to the shore. And what I got was basically when I finally got this thing to connect, I had it fall. So I don't know if you're not allowed to do that, but what I was, you know, I probably could do it, like if I built a ramp from the shore and reinforced it and so on. But yeah, it seemed like a bit of a time sink, so I didn't do it. Day 9. So day 9, we were hungry. We woke up pretty hungry. So all the nights we basically did mining. Like I went down into my pit down there and I mined the living heck out of it. In fact, that first night, what I might have done was finish the cave, like finish the dig. And yeah. Here's okay, well, I didn't mine that much, but I built forges, right? So we finally got the forge built. I built 2 for some reason. I kind of regret that. I think the reason was I had read somewhere that folks have multiple forges, so I thought I should get 2 going, but I also built the workbench. The idea being there, we need to get the bicycle going. And it allows a bunch of other stuff too, like tool forging and stuff, so that was good news. And in earnest, we went into town to look for food, because now we're officially starving. Like officially dying of hunger. So yeah, they have the IZEA, which was appealing. I wasn't sure whether to do the IZEA or to try to find another residential for food. But I ended up, you know, IZEA was closest, so we went for it. Definitely a big welcoming committee on the way in. And the starvation here was getting so bad that I noticed there was blueberries in the IZEA parking lot, so I harvested them, and I actually got to the point of eating blueberries, which is turns out to be a terrible way to get calories because they're almost no health, like marginally, like 1, I think, health or something. Yeah, I get 1 food per. Do I even? Yeah, or maybe it's a half a food per. It's ridiculously low. 1 food per, but you take a 1% food poisoning risk each time, so it kind of sucks. So yeah, we got in the IZEA lobby here, and there's a lot going on. A lot of zombies behind the walls doing things. Yeah, we woke up a whole ton of them. That garbage can was loud. Here they come. Oh, a whole stack of them come out of the bathroom. So yeah, we worked our way through them. Walk them out to the parking lot and just work our way through them. This crew. So yeah, if you walk away far enough, they reset. Like the zombies just go back to their spawn location, and you can take them out later. Oh, missing the spear is the worst. Yeah, so I did decide to just kind of go for it with the rifle rounds because there's just so many zombies that it was just a matter of making it happen. You know, like you end up with a time trade-off where it's like you could spend forever hitting them with the club, or you could make good on it. So we got in here. There's a ton of chests and stuff in this showroom, with some good stuff in them. Yeah, look at that. Level 3 junk turret, guys. Crazy. Really nice find. You know, various mods. Always some level 1 tools. Level 1 spears, you know, break them down. So finally found emergency rations, so that was huge. Took us back above starving. And these 4 safes were here, guys. So yeah, I had some lockpicks. I did throw some lockpicks at them, but I broke them all. Didn't get into any safes. So that's that. There are a whole bunch of vending machines, which are great. So if I get really hungry, I can go for those and try to use money on them that I find. I found that IZEA has a bistro like the real life counterpart does, which is great. Went in here. A little surprise here. These zombies usually aren't that bad, but he was a quick one. And he came right after me and stunned me out. But dealt with him there, pretty good. And this place turned out to be really, really great for food. So, in fact, so much that I couldn't carry it all. We ate a bit of it on site to load up. Oh yeah, 10% sneak damage at night and a double pocket mod, which is great. Look at that rebar. That's all good stuff. Whole bunch of coolers. We found all kinds of water and stuff. Yeah, and look at all the cement, guys. So we went and harvested this out like crazy. Worked our way through that whole pile. And then went to check the upstairs. Big showroom up here. Which, in retrospect, I never fully explored. But this looked important because it was caged off. So, yeah. Worked our way through this welcoming party here. And then here we just went through the window attack. Broke our way in, and more awesome food here, guys. Like, so our food concerns were dealt with for at least a day. There was absolutely a ton of loot in here. Like, just look at it all. So good. And we decided to go home because we were stocked. I decided to try to break a bus down a little bit to look for a wheel because of the bike. We were short a wheel, but I couldn't find one. So, and we left a whole bunch of bus parts on the ground. And home we are. As the sun sets. I want to get in just before 2200 because that's when you've got the zombies turn into runners at night. So starting up day 10, we had a new recipe, which is boiled meat, which turned out to be really good. So we did boil up the meat that we had. I did mining all night as usual. And we did make the bike. So I managed to fabricate a tire, which I didn't know you could do. But hey, you can fabricate a tire, which is awesome. And we obviously went back to IZEA because we weren't done. So And did some more harvest, went back upstairs. Clean out the rest of that. Okay, blueberry pie recipe, guys. That's a fairly huge find. And this room here, full of bodies, corpses that is, and some loot. So we did this, harvested this out. And weapons bag here with rocket launcher parts. And I accidentally blew up an ammo pile, so happens. There we are. So flaming burning shaft mod schematic, which is interesting. I have to look for that in the list. And an ergonomic grip for my spear, which is pretty cool. And there it is, guys. The triple storage pocket schematic and herbal antibiotics recipe. 2 huge finds. And then we came up on the roof here. And even more loot, guys. Bunch more boxes. A couple of bags. So there's a barrel. What's it called? Barrel modifier for the shotgun. So, you know, mediocre find there. A little bit of ammo. And another bladed weapons do 10% more damage at night book, which is insanely cool. A whole bunch of hunting knives we found, guys. And then one sneaky box here. Look at that. Hidden stash for a arrow rest mod schematic. That's kind of cool. I did not end up making any of these mods, so I got to get on that. Okay, and this stash here, look at that. Contact grenade schematic, chemistry station schematic, and water purifier mod schematic. 3 insane schematics. So this roof has been just loaded. And then an AK, a bit of ammo. So just a really juicy rooftop. And one more office here that we hadn't checked. Oh, there, look at that, guys. Scope 8 times mod schematic and 49 gunpowder. Crazy. Another book, 10% more sneak damage at night. So if you happen to go out at night, I guess that's good for the blood moon though, but not like you're ever sneaking during the blood moon. But and yeah, improved fittings mod schematic, not that important. Schematic for making brass knuckle parts and some assorted loot, all breakdownable. So we were loaded up pretty bad, so we went back to drop it all off. And we injured ourselves terribly on the bike. I don't know what that was all about, but it was funny. Good ragdoll there. Yeah, we made whatever triple storage pocket mods we could. I still have a couple more to go, I think, by the end of this video, but did what we could. I think we're out of... The limiter ended up being the string or whatever, so I'll have to keep an eye out for some of that. Sewing kits is what it is. I had no idea I couldn't craft sewing kits, so we decided to take on the military base site, and indeed it turned out to be just loaded with zombies, as you might expect, and nasty zombies too. Military zombies. These zombies turned out to be pretty aggressive. They've got armor plating, so you'll hear if I throw a spear at him. Okay, no, I hit him in the face, but if you hit him in the chest, there, it hits metal. So he's got like a... It sounds like metal. I mean, I think ballistic plates are typically ceramic, but anyway. There you go. He's got armor. So they can definitely take a beating. Yeah, retractable mod stock. Pretty cool. Sorry, retractable stock mod. And crawler we got here. There was just like an unlimited source of zombies in this site. I didn't even come close to showing you all the kills. Oh, guys, look at this. One man's trash is another man's loot. More junk in loot. Find. So that's a crazy book to find. I couldn't figure out how to take these auto shotgun turrets down. I couldn't figure out how to dismount them or to, to pack them up. Maybe you have to have a higher turret rating than I do. So that was a shame. What I didn't think of is that I just feel like an idiot now, is that I could have activated those. Okay, I missed the spear there. But back to the old club. Yeah, so I could have activated those turrets if I brought shotgun ammo, and okay, this went bad. So that guy just about took me out. Brutal. And just beat the heck out of me. I don't know why I used that bandage. That was a mistake. So there was also a whole bunch of snakes in the military site, and yeah, they're really hard to kill. It's just like tricky, but not that dangerous. But the beauty is once you kill them, they're good for meat. This one had, looks like 6 meat on it, so pretty awesome. These guys are good. They're pretty easy to kill, and they're not that aggressive, so they're like free experience. Oh, unless you miss with the spear and get beat down by it. And almost killed. There I am, bleeding. Wow. So yeah, this military site was brutal. I'm not gonna lie. It really took, but you'll see. It got bad. Putting that guy down. And here we go. I came from the other side, and this is where things went very badly for me. So I, you know, ran into this real monster here. Look at this thing. And I don't know what it is, but it's a savage zombie. And it was fast, and it was on my case. Look at that. It took me out. So yeah, guys, I'm not playing Dead is Dead. You know that for this run. This is sort of like my training run. So I've already died twice. That's a third death in this run. I'm giving myself a break. I want to learn the ropes before I go Dead is Dead. Like I don't know the crafting tree and everything yet. So this is really my first actual run. So give myself a break. What it does is gives you a 10% penalty. So I came back at these guys, 10% experience penalty. Came back at these guys this time from the top of the bus, and I actually found out that it wasn't a great spot. And I'm no good with a shotgun. Yeah, just no good. Couldn't get it. There he is. So I thought that guy was dead, but he was just stunned. He's tough though. He already took a shotgun to the head, and he's still at it. So. And then, strangely, he ran off. So he fled, which is an interesting behavior. And he went absolutely ape inside the Isaiah, tearing up the furniture in there. So I don't know, I guess he just had a rage. And he didn't come back. Yeah, another spear miss. Beautiful. I kind of got fed up and just went shotgun on these guys. So I don't know what that's for. It's a gas mod of some kind. It's interesting. I gotta look through my mod list. I found a ton of mods that I have not made yet. There you go. First aid bandage schematic. Okay, so that guy respawned, or there's a second one, which was nasty. But this time I came prepared. I got the shotgun. Okay, well, sort of. He still took a chunk out of me and stunned me. But I put him down for 1320 experience, which is pretty awesome. So that thing, you know, it just goes to show that the zombie speed is such a huge factor. Leather boots, the military boots, I decided to keep. And I found this interesting axe in a special Apache artifact chest. I ended up using that axe. Found out later that it's not as good as the axe I can craft. But I didn't find that out till much later, so there it is. This is Taz's stone axe. I ended up comparing it, and I was looking at melee damage. It does better melee damage than my crafted axe, but it does worse block damage, and I didn't catch that. So the block damage is everything. So day 11, I started to think about our shelter a little bit, and looking at this whole platform that we have here that we're living on and relying on sits on these stilts. And I thought, if we get attacked, these stilts are potentially a weak point, because you know the game has physics. So if you knock out enough supports, the whole structure will come down. So I thought better upgrade some of these stilts to metal. I also thought, you know, better to have something other than stilts. Like if I can build up possibly some supports, and turn out these platform pieces prevent you from sticking blocks directly under them. So I had to kind of go to do a little figuring. I've also got a fridge there, which I don't know how much I love. But yeah, was thinking a little bit about how to upgrade this place so that it has more support than just those stilts. So I ended up putting some rebar in here and doing reinforced concrete as a double. So there, that thing's supported by concrete. I think that connects to those plates now. And I put down a chemistry station, so that's awesome. And we did a little mining, as you can see. Yeah. And this is an important source of sand. So I started to make concrete, right? And you need sand for that. So I was fishing out all the sand. I found a ton of just awesome stuff back here. There's lead, there's coal, there's sand, and there's iron. All of which is just so useful. So basically each night I've been just going through this. I've got mushrooms on the go there. So we decided to take another look at the boat. There's a submarine beside it I didn't notice the first time. So decided to take a peek in that submarine. And found a flashlight, guys. And a bunch of stuff that I ended up breaking down. The boots I ended up breaking down. So yeah, like the flashlight, I kind of wish I'd looked at it more carefully. I'm not sure if you can just attach it to your weapon. So some, you know, uninteresting loot in there that I found. And I had to sort of work my way over this thing. Yeah, so I found that actually some of these doors are unlocked. I didn't realize that the first way through. So I thought all the doors would be locked, but indeed there was some stuff, some food, you know, kind of semi-uninteresting loot. But check this out. The door on the side was open, so that was cool. And what this opens up into is a massive crew quarters area. Like a lot of little rooms that look pretty much the same with just a bed, toilet, you know, and a drawer. So I ended up going through a lot of these rooms and basically found food and some odds and ends, you know, odd piece of ammo here and there. There I found some schematics. Look at that. Grandpa's moonshine recipe and retracting stock mod. That's a crazy find. But otherwise I think it was pretty much just food. And here I found this and then this. He got a shot on me. But he became pretty hardcore spear bait. The Hawaiian shirt's not gonna... Oh, okay. If I miss it, it's gonna protect him. Ran in a bit of trouble here. But back to the old club. Bam. And got my spear back. I don't know what nails are good for yet. I'm assuming I'm going to need them later on. So I've been collecting them, but... yeah. And so I didn't notice the first time through that you can go through that hole. So that's useful to know. And then this door here. So I decided to work my way through this door. And it took a while. But it led into what looks like the hold. And like a meat locker in here. Decided to harvest the meat off those things. And then check this out, there's snowballs. So I don't know quite what those are good for, but because I'd never seen them before, I decided to take a few. 15 snowballs. And I think this is a homemade map because I think the sound travel doesn't work very well because there's a lot of zombies I walked right up on in this that weren't activated by my footsteps. So I think maybe when it was designed, they didn't design it properly. So that was the main loot up in the control room here. There wasn't much to be had, so I decided to bail after that. It was getting late in the day. and do a little bit of upgrading here of the front door. So they were climbing up over this on the first way through, so I broke through all the barbed wire I had set up here and decided to put in some reinforced concrete barrier here because they were actually jumping over this. So you need to have at least, I think, a 3-high wall to prevent them from climbing on top of each other and then jumping over. So in retrospect, I think I overdid it with the reinforced concrete here. I don't think you need that, but anyway, I went around the perimeter basically and got rid of anything that looked kind of flaky that was on the second wall and put a better third level. Again, I used reinforced concrete for some of these, which afterwards I thought, gee, maybe that wasn't wise because the cars below it are only 2,500, so that's 2,500 points over a whole car, which is many, many blocks. You know, with reinforced concrete, I think it's 5,000 points. So, and I don't think they can directly strike it because it's up there. So probably a waste. It probably would have been fine to use cobblestone, but I don't know. It's neither here nor there. We'll see in the next attack. So here I was trying to figure out, I want to put another supporting column in. So I was kind of look to where I could break through our little house and have a second exit. Like it's better to have a back door basically. So I decided to cut through the floor here. And it was hard. So that was pretty well defended, about 2,000 hit points in that. So I decided to throw in, I cut out another piece beside it actually. And I actually decided to go for the third. Okay, so that one's just beside the fridge column. So I decided to, because it's a supporting wall, and I would, you know, I'm afraid they're going to undermine me basically and try to knock down at my base from the inside. I decided to turn this into reinforced concrete, which I think is the strongest material we can make. So I think that's as good as it gets. And I decided to, I put a hatch in for us to get through, and then I decided to put some bars on this. That way, if they do get in and they're trying to bust their way up towards me through this hatch, I can at least shoot down at them. And now that I look at it, I should probably have done this the other way around, but because my chest is there. But I suppose I can just sort of, you know, make it work. This is not a perfect base. This is really my first base, so. Although, actually, okay, so in the very first playthrough, I went to day 7, and I built a little tiny base, you know, like a 5x5 type base, and yeah, that was my first base. But this is a huge base. Ended up making a ton of gunpowder because I wanted to manufacture as much as I could. So these are some extra pieces that I took out that might be, you know, zombies might climb up to get to my platform. So, and here we are putting in those third layer on these cars. Instead of the barbed wire, because barbed wire they can just walk through slowly. And these things, so here's where I had the realization that I don't necessarily want to have concrete on this level. So I went to here and then I was like, okay, cobblestone. So, and anyway, the other ones aren't reinforced concrete. At least I didn't do that. They're regular concrete. So it's, I think 2,500 is the hit points. So it's as strong as the whole car below it, at least. But anyway, we'll just see like how it holds. And off we went. I decided to go back to the boat again for a little more punishment there. Yeah, work my way through again to this hatch, to go below decks. I decided to go right down, and I run right into this guy. So that's what I'm saying about zombies not being alerted. I don't know if that's normal behavior. And I missed it point blank with the shotgun. But luckily he wasn't alerted, so. Remember to reload, eh? That's something that I have to learn to do. So I was going to break through that, but it was 2,000, so not going to happen. And yeah, just started exploring rooms down here. Found a bunch of empty stuff. Decided to break down the workbench. You get forged iron out of that, which is pretty cool. And I'm breaking all the chairs down as I go for leather. So here I left, and then I was like, wait a sec. Thought I saw something. Went through this wall. And indeed, gun safe. And a zombie in there that didn't hear any of that. So again, I think... See, look at this. Yeah, she doesn't wake up. can just walk right up on her. Couple of crawlers in here. Bunch of aloe cream, which is interesting. And look at this, Trader Joel's. So I don't know if this is a working trader or not. It says it's now closed, but anyway, I'm here. So I decided to break through. Now that took a long time. That was a 7,000 point gate. And it turned out now I have to, there's a bit of a bug there with the graphics. To break through the glass. And we've got a weapons bag with nothing of interest in it, but break all that down for parts. And then we've got a 10,000 hardened chest I had to go through, which was pain. And even this didn't really have much that I wanted, so oh well. And here comes this what looks like the engine room. And a whole bunch of corpses in here that I harvested for rotten meat. And then I noticed some zombies down the way. So of course, go for a shot with the arrow, spark it off. And as I shoot my second arrow, I notice that these are fast zombies. They're runners. Look at this. And I realize they're runners, and there's nothing between me and the runners, which means certain death. So I bailed. Look at that. Yeah, so that's a formidable force in that room, which is terrifying but also intriguing. So we come back to it later. But yeah, for now it was getting late in the day and I thought, gee, that's a nasty room. I'm not prepared for it at all. So went back home. And right when I came in, I was like, what? There's a hole here. I didn't remember that hole, but hey, there's a hole. So got to fill it up. And I noticed there's a fridge beside it with 300 hit points, so that's got to go. Toss in, yeah, some real blocks here. And yeah, we got another fridge on our hands here. Not sure why I didn't harvest that one with the wrench, but hey. And yeah, let's make ourselves a real doorway here. I'm not sure why they didn't go through that last time. It could be just that I had a crappy door on and they decided to go through the door instead. But yeah. That looked like it was a weak point in my entry, so good thing I took that out, I think. Put some real blocks in. And there's a couple pieces there that later I'm going to come around to. There we go. So now we've got kind of a better entryway. And I will come back and, yeah, here we go. Turn them into at least cobblestone. So yeah, my front door is actually regular concrete, not reinforced concrete. And I think that's good, like the door archway, because I want to attract them to the front door. I don't want them to try to come through the back. Yeah. And then the rest of the night, I believe, is just mining, guys. Mining, mining, mining. So day 13, guys. Day 14 is our horde night. So yeah, woke up to day 13. There's a little bit of action on the perimeter. There looked like there was a roaming horde that came in the morning and basically killed itself on my defenses. But that's okay because I'm going to want to update those anyway. And yeah, overnight I decided I got to take this thing down. This is a liability. Basically, I want to be able to seal off my platform. So I have, yeah, The plan is that if things go badly, I can pull back and pull out. I'll put some frames in there and pull them out so that I've got a good defensive platform. Here I basically decided, yeah, all these little things that act as steps I have to get rid of. There's a couple over here. Yeah, I can't jump on it, but who knows if they pile up, right? They might jump up on it and then up onto the platform. So down it goes. And this little piece here I thought was maybe something they could jump up on. And I decided to, I had cobblestone these up before, but I decided to take them out and turn them into windows with, I've got a hatch on it for light protection and some bars out there. So I can, if they start piling up outside, if I get trapped in here, I can shoot through the bars and hopefully take a few of them out. Otherwise I'm sort of trapped in there until they come through the wall, which isn't good. So this will give me a chance to at least thin it out a little while they're trying to rip through. I just went all the way around with bars. I had a little bit of trouble with the hatches. They didn't fit that well, so I don't know if I'm just not good with the tool, but I managed to get some of these in a good way, but others I fought with. And some of the hatches I had to put outside, so it's a little messed up. But mainly the hatches are just to do light protection at night, so I don't want to shine a light when on a regular night, you know. But on a horde night, I'll just leave it all open. Okay, so yeah, folks out killing themselves on the defenses. And yeah. Just decided to clean that up a bit. And yeah, I decided to do a pathway across to the tower here so that I can get up the tower without going from the ground. And that annoying post prevented me from making it look good. So now at least we can get up to the tower. I'm thinking the junk turret's going to go up here and shoot down on people clustering by the front doorway. And then I decided to kind of reverse the order here so that I have frames on my side. So I can pull those frames up from here. Bit of trouble here. I was putting some bars up, yeah, over this part, just so that I have a little bit of protection. Two things. One is I have protection maybe from birds if I'm sitting there. The other is that I'm up on the roof, I can kind of shoot down. So yeah, we've got, I made a decision to look into a trench. So I was talking to some folks online, I'm thinking pest and so on, in the comments were saying, we were talking about a moat. So I think a moat's a good option for slowing them down. And I don't know if I didn't know if I had enough time for it. So it was about 1 p.m. here on the 13th. And I in earnest set out to dig a moat. And the moat was to be 2 wide and 2 deep. So here I go. Yeah. And yeah, by 2 p.m. I have just across, I decided to do a moat just across the front door. That face of the base, just in case maybe that would be useful, because my assumption is that they'll cluster at the front door again. But and that took a while. So that took, what, 3 hours? So, but there it is. Looking pretty good. And we've got a little removable bridge here. There you go. So that's looking pretty good. It's got to add something to the defensive value of the place. Now, the other sides obviously doesn't, but it's something for now. And yeah, decided to go back to the boat once again because I know that there's some good loot down there. You know, where that horde is. I just want it. So I decided to go take another look. I had an idea. I was like, I got an idea here. So yeah, those guys, in the time I was there, they took another, you know, 1,500 points off that door. There's more in this hold too that I haven't shown you guys that would have been cool, but to explore. But I was attracted by this engine room, and the idea was to put a block in. So attract the horde, yeah, and then go put a block in, and upgrade it. Okay, so that didn't seem to anger the horde, so I decided to let off a shot. And that did anger the horde. Big time. Here's where you wish you had a grenade, guys. I could have brought one. And it's a monster horde, look at that. So I decided to try to melee them to save ammo because I had them trapped here, but I don't have any sense of the strength of cobblestone, and what I discovered here is that it's not that strong. There, it's gone. So I freaked out and ran as they ripped through my cobblestone. So cobblestone's not enough. So if I'm going to do that little stunt, I'm going to at least need to do it with reinforced concrete. Probably 2 blocks worth. And yeah, that's just the way it is, guys. It's ugly down there. Still really attracted to know what's in there, but I was not able to. It's my second or third experiment with that. So I came home about 5 p.m. and I decided to go for it, guys, and spend the rest of the night trying to get this trench built all the way around. Yeah, it was onerous, but the thing about digging like this is you get points for it. You get experience for it. So, it's not wasted time. And I got an insane amount of clay. It's too bad I didn't get sand for it, but clay. And around we went. And this is 1 layer done, just about. So by about, what is that, 9 p.m.? 9:30. So yeah, it wasn't quite done anyway. I had to keep going. And yeah, I decided to just go into the night, guys. And we got the whole thing done. No zombies came. They left me alone, despite my digging out here in the open. So you can get a lot done at night. And I was able to complete, I think more or less complete the whole trench. I'll have to check in the morning. Yeah. And yeah, guys, so last thing to do before bed was just to upgrade that into a metal door. There we go. So there you go, guys. Those are those 7 days. I hope you enjoyed it. We're more or less ready with a little bit of prep to do for the horde, so we have a day to get that figured out. And yeah, thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll catch you next time for Horde Night.